The bonds of fire are inextinguishable, and this chapter is the living example of that fact. So hello and welcome to Undervisey. My name is Soham and today we are going to talk about One Piece chapter 999. And this is possibly one of my absolute favorite chapters in the entirety of this series, and that is including Enies Lobby, Marineford and more. I loved absolutely every part of this particular chapter, from the reveal at the very end to all the stuff that is happening in the first half here. And things were absolutely amazing in my opinion. But before talking about all of this, if you're new here then please consider subscribing to the channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content. We're also trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so a like and sub would be massively appreciated. With that being said, let's begin the video, and of course a mandatory manga spoiler warning. Now in my prior video I've already talked about the stuff that is happening with Kaido and the reveal of his devil fruit being the fish fruit type mythical. Of course, I've talked about all of the stuff and the nuances that are occurring there, and how Oda actually teased us with the entirety of Wano country as a whole, and how it goes on with the Chinese and Japanese mythology of the koi fish becoming the literal dragon. Now even though that is a very big reveal for the series moving forward, but I'm not going to talk about that much here in this particular review because I've already talked about it in my prior spoiler video. Because in this particular video, I solely want to focus on the stuff that is happening in relation to Ace, because this entire section is really one of my absolute favorite parts of the entire story. I'm a really big fan of Ace as a character, and these particular moments and these particular interactions were really amazing in my opinion. And of course, I got one of those reactions here in the form of Tama, something that I have been waiting for a really long time now. But along with that, I also got a very unexpected reaction, and that was actually wrong on my part not to assume that that would be something very interesting and huge, and that is the reaction of Momonosuke. Because Momo was after all born at the ship of Roger himself, so the reveal of Ace was very big for him as well. But before talking about all of that, let's start from the very beginning, where we start off at Onigashima with Ace fighting off against Yamato. There are some really great panels here, and of course Yamato is telling Ace that her father is currently out of Onigashima, so Ace will not be able to face him. And then we finally learned the reason why Ace wanted to come to Onigashima in the very first place, because he wanted to rescue the children who were being experimented here on this island. So that was a really good bit in my opinion. Again, it goes on to show the connection between the two brothers, and this was really heartwarming in my opinion. At the same time, we also got to see the members of the Spade Pirates once again. If I'm not wrong, here is Mihar, Skull, Cornelia and more, including their pet Kotatsu. So this was really good in my opinion, and I just hope that we got to see more of these characters, more of these side characters from Ace's first crew in the story. Now of course Luffy is Ace's brother, but these brothers have their own differences, so it might not make that much of a sense for the story to actually focus on something like this, but still as a fan I will obviously wonder what kind of a reaction will they have to Luffy. But anyway, the fight scenes here are amazing, and the dialogue is really good in my opinion as well, because we get to see the interaction between these two amazing characters in the form of Ace and Yamato, two characters who do not want to walk in the same path of their fathers, albeit for different reasons altogether. And the dialogue of Ace in my opinion is very apt here when he says that you cannot choose your father Yamato, and then again the bit with Yamato being with handcuffs is raised here once again, and that goes on to show how she's not actually free. And thereafter her first rebellion is actually shown to us on screen in the form of destroying that dragon statue. That was really a good callback in my opinion. And finally we get to see Ace and Yamato drinking together. And then Yamato obviously asks him the question that, please tell me about the outside sea. Since you are a pirate, you have seen the outside world. Please tell me how the outside world is, because currently I am enslaved in Wano and I do not have any opportunity to sail outside the world. Now here in my opinion, Oda did a fantastic job of linking the established lore and canon of the series. Of course, Oda is a genius, so this is not something new for him, but because I am a new fan of the series, I was really taken aback by seeing these names popping up once again, because that just makes so much sense. Because Luffy is actually one of the youngest members of the Verse generation, so of course it makes sense that the other members of the Verse generation started to spread their name before him. Because here Ace talks about Cavendish. Obviously he cannot remember the name of Cavendish, but it's pretty clear that he talks about Cavendish here. Then he goes on to talk about how there is Kid in the south, Law in the north and Gangbage in the west. And at the end of all of this, he talks about his own brother Luffy and how he will take the entire world on a storm once he goes out on his journey. Once again, this was an absolutely brilliant panel in my opinion. This goes on to show the ties of these two brothers, and this was just so heartwarming yet sad at the very same time. And then we switch into the present when Yamato is actually looking at the destroyed statue of the dragon, which Ace once helped her to destroy. And beside her we can see Momonosuke and Shinobu, who are sitting there, and they're really taken aback by the fact that Yamato is actually the child of Kaido, because they have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. Of course, this is a very logical reaction, but then again things go back to normal. After that we see a brief scene with Tama and Nami, and we'll get back to this once again, but now we head into the main stage, because here we see the interactions between Marco and the other members of the Straw Hats. Marco basically helps Zoro to reach the top of the castle, and at the same time King and Queen are trying to stop them. But at that very moment, Marco has a flashback of Ace and how Ace actually wanted to take revenge upon Kaido after all of them learn about the death of Odin, and how Whitebeard actually stopped him from unnecessarily taking the measures upon his hands and trying to go on a death battle. Now here the fan base is a little divided. I don't know why, and it's kind of annoying for me, but a lot of people are saying that Whitebeard is actually being a coward at this point. Now I really don't want to get into the nuances of all of that here in this particular video. I'll be making a separate video on this particular topic as to why Whitebeard is not actually a coward. I really never thought that I would have to say something like this, but a lot of people among the fandom are saying that Whitebeard did a cowardly move here, but that is not actually a cowardly move, that is actually a sensible move in my opinion. But then again, I'll talk about all of that in a separate video which is coming very soon. But after all of this, we finally get the reaction of Tama when Nami actually tells her that Luffy is actually the brother of Ace, and this was just so heartwarming, sad, and just, I don't know, I really don't have words to describe what exactly is going on here. But this is one moment which I was really waiting for a really long time to actually watch, and again this scene will be much more impactful in my opinion in the anime, but here as well it was really good in my opinion. And again the reaction from Momonosuke was something which I was not expecting at all. I had totally forgotten the fact that he was actually born on Roger's ship, so of course he will have a reaction to all of this because Ace is after all the son of Gold D. Roger. And of course to all of this Yamato says that what are the odds of something like this happening? This has to be fate, that the brother of Ace actually comes to protect Wano in the very first place. Because after all, Luffy's name also has a D in the middle. So of course this has to be fate. The entirety of this chapter was really awesome in my opinion, and of course at the very end we get the reveal with Big Mom and Kaido. I have talked about all of this in my prior videos, so I do not want to get over all of this, but once again Kaido's Devil Fruit is revealed to be the legendary model of the Fish Fruit. But that's it for chapter 999. This was an absolutely fabulous chapter in my opinion, and I'm a really big fan of all of this. And again, I cannot wait for chapter 1000 as well. So this is it for today guys. These are my thoughts on chapter 999. What are your thoughts about all of this? Please mention them in the comment section below. So that's it for today guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. This is WonderWyZ, and I'll see you soon on the next video.